Well. It ends in heartbreak for some people. Let me move this out of my way, man. You see when you were doing watch-alongs, or supporting watch-alongs, you tend to to have everything static, or you have to ensure that you hydrate yourself. But anyways, Chelsea see themselves lose 3 goals to 2 or 2 goals to 3 against Arsenal. The match ends very disappointing for Rosenior's Chelsea. I say heartbreak, but there is still hope. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe it's just blind optimism and hope. But there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot of positives and there's a lot of negatives. And I'm speaking about a lot of positive for Chelsea and for Arsenal. But of course, as a Chelsea-oriented channel, I'm going to discuss the negatives of this match. And of course, I'm sure I don't need to mention it for you to know the biggest issues: clinical errors, critical errors that continuously seem to plague Chelsea. And Robert Sanchez is having that period where he just starts making mistakes now. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. Big up to you, Chelsea perspective. It's good to see you, my brother. I hope you're good. I hope the family's good. I hope everything's all right with you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good music. I was inspired by you to utilize that type of music. So thank you very much for that. You say defensive issues persisted, but that wasn't such a bad performance given the players were missing. I agree with you, and that is why I'm saying that there's positives, there's also negatives, but of course the negatives what I'm going to start with, because the negatives is literally why the match ended the way that it did. But I'm appreciative of the fact that the team was able to, get some goals back. Of course, I'm sure, Rosenior will be disappointed that we couldn't score in the latter part to make it 3-3. But yeah, big up to you, Yomosi. You say Santos is a massive hologram in midfield. Well, he had a bit of a off game today. He wasn't his best performance. I'm gonna admit that. I'm a big fan of Andre Santos, but the inexperience of man marking in the English league or the English competitions, it started to show, and that was a very bad error that he made. But of course, it shows that he is still learning. But I agree with you that he was non-existent, especially for the way that goal ended up scoring. I think it's the third goal that Arsenal scored, particularly, basically. Let's say that. But yeah, 5 people watching. Drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. 6 minutes in, appreciate the support. And as I said, yeah, there's negatives for sure. All right, I need to turn this Nightbot command off, because of course I've already gotten past that. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Some people watching right now, drop a like on the stream and do share the stream if you can as well. Please do share the stream. Drop a like. It will just take you about 2 seconds to like. And if you are a new subscriber as well, we're aiming to get to 5,000 by the end of January. I think it's doable. So thank you very much for tuning in. But yes, as I said, there are negatives. The defensive issues need to be rectified. And I'm going to go back to what Chelsea Perspective says here about the defensive issues persisted, which is true. The defensive issues persisted, and that was the biggest issue for us in this match. It really was disappointing. I was really hoping that we could get we could find a way back. I don't know. The way I'm talking right now is kind of all over the place. I've been having that issue these days. But yeah, I appreciate the fact that the players' heads didn't drop. There's this disciplinary issue that I think needs to be rectified. Players like Esteban Willian, Pedro Neto, just to name a few, getting booked for complaining and whining. I'm saying this, and I was on a watch long, as I said, and in that watch long, I made a mention that I don't like this mentality that I'm seeing from the players when it comes on to complaining. Yes, I understand. You didn't get a corner kick. You didn't get it. Shake your head and continue. Don't go into the referee's face. That has never worked. It's never been a case where the referee or the linesman changes this decision because you go in his face. If anything, you're gonna be punished. You're gonna be cautioned. And that is exactly what we saw with the whole complaining and the whining and all of that. Yes, I get it. You feel as if you were hard done by, but you don't do that because it's not the first time. And I think we need to address that issue because it's a fundamental issue that ends up getting or players sent off as well, because they get one yellow card, and then if they make a bad tackle, they're going to get a second and they're off. So it's very important. But as I've said, I believe there's still hope. It's just oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Big up to you, Chelsea Perspective. Gifted 5 Chelsea memberships. Thank you very much for the donation. I wonder who gets that. I would have to go on YouTube to see, because of course, on StreamYard I can see who got it. But thank you very much. Big up to you, Chelsea Perspective. I hope you got one of the gifted memberships, because I think it was Blue Line Chelsea gifted a membership and you end up getting it. So hopefully you get the membership. But thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to really do that, because you didn't have to do it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. So thank you for the 5. What am I saying? The 5 gifted memberships. Big up to you, and thank you very much. But yeah, as I was saying, which I think I've lost my chain of thoughts when I saw that. Anyways, right. So as I'm saying, all right. Let me see. With a full squad, we can beat them at the Emirates, no caps. I agree with you. And all right. This is what I'm going to say. Thank you very much for assisting. I'm going to do a tapping now, because you just gave me my idea, or you gave me back my thought for what I was going to say next. What I really take as comfort is the fact that we played a B team, and we were able to get a positive sort of end to the game. Okay, big up to you, Huddersfield. So I've seen a person who's been gifted a membership. So it's Anthony Herbert, Leon Watkins, Huddersfield Town Fan TV, who's here. Big up to you, Huddersfield Fan TV, and Toby. Big up to you, Toby, as well. I haven't seen Toby in a long time, but thank you very much for the membership donations that you've done. But yes, as I said, what I take as comfort as well, as Church Perspective says here, the fact that we had 3 key players out. I'll say 3. Caicedo being out. Of course, being out in terms of being suspended. He missed the game because of suspension. That's one. The second thing is that, of course, we know Gusto and James. Well, I think actually 4 players out, 4 key players out. 3 out due to injury, 1 due to suspension. So Cole Palmer, he's been playing. Apparently, he's been playing. While nursing an injury, which is always good to hear, or it isn't good to hear overall, and that's the case. Of course, we know that James, of course, he wasn't able to make it back in time for this match. Gusto as well wasn't even in the squad as well. But what I have to say, and this is what I love, because I really respect this from Rosenior. He was able to, despite the fact that we were losing, he was willing to try. And to be fair, we didn't have much options otherwise, to be honest. But he brought on Chimueka, which if anybody knows me, if anybody follows me on X, if they've watched the videos that I've done, they will know that I really think that Chimueka is a very good player. I think that he should be playing, or at least be in the first team squad. But of course, we have so many strikers right now. We have so many attackers. So I really don't know if he's going to really get that chance. But I'm happy he got the chance to come on. It's not the first time he's played on the Maresca before. I think it was a Southampton game in the Premier League as well. I could be wrong. I don't remember if it was a cup competition or if it was in the league against Southampton, but I know it was against Southampton, I think. So I'm happy that Chimueka was able to get the opportunity to play. But, speaking about that, I need to speak about Arsenal now. And, with the situation with Arsenal, I was really shocked. I was really shocked because Arsenal played more than likely, and more so they played a very strong 11. I think the only options that certain Arsenal fans may have wanted to see is probably Martinelli starting, and Martinelli didn't start, but I think that's one thing, and maybe some people may say if Kai Havertz was able to start, maybe that would have helped, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I don't really know about the stands of Arsenal fans, but I know that Gyokeres is getting a goal, and the fact is, I think Chelsea still have that Charity of C sorts of syndrome, and that's not going to change anytime soon, even with the manager bounce that people expect. Because the reality is, as soon as he scored, Gyokeres, that is, he was able to assist or to make a key pass, a very interesting backheel pass, or I'll say backheel, and he was able to make that pass in. I don't remember who scored the third goal, but he was able to do that, and he was having a very bad slump. Gyokeres. So the fact that he was able to do that, it really is impressive in my opinion. But yeah, as I've said, there's still hope. Probably blind hope on my part, but I believe that considering the fact that we were playing a B team, we were playing the likes of a Mark Gu, which Gu showed the high pressing, and I think Rosenior will love that from Gu. I mentioned it after the Charlton game, and the one thing I mentioned in Charlton, review is that I know it's Charlton, and I must apologize. I disrespected Charlton massively because I kept saying that they're a League One team. They're not. They're in the Championship. I don't know why I thought they were in a league. They're in League One, in the Championship. So my apologies there. But one thing that I knew though is that I did say that it's Charlton. I'm not going to get too excited. It can be manager bounce. But what I do love is the fact that it wasn't just sunshine and rainbows. And I'm happy that Rosenior was able to see this. And that's why I really love. Big up to you, Matt. Matt says, up the shows. Good effort today from the boys. We go again and let's give it a real go at Emirates. I agree with you. So I'm telling you, I believe that this result is better than a 3-1, I should say. Of course, it would have been nice if you could have gotten a 3-3 result at the end of it. And we had chances to make it that before, the 90th minute and all that. But sadly, it just wasn't meant to be. And it could have been 4-2 as well. It could have been a penalty. Offside saved us as well. A lot of crazy things happened in that latter part of that second half. But as I said, and I agree with you, Matt, I agree with Joe's perspective as well. I believe that considering the fact that it's a team that was so new, some of those players haven't really played together consistently. Up until of course, he brought on certain players. But one thing I was really hoping wouldn't happen is that Badiashile and certain players will make certain errors, and of course, don't expecting that. Sanchez got back to having that one error game or error-filled game, and of course, you see to the title, Sanchez Error played a crucial part in this. But I'm not here to scapegoat players. I'm not here to just really blame game, because I don't blame players per se in terms of saying, oh, with this is the case and all of that. And because at the end of the day, Sanchez really did do good in other aspects, and of course, he just had those unfortunate instances where, he tried to come out, which I was frustrated about. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not watching that I was on an Arsenal channel, and I kept saying that Sanchez, why are you coming out to punch the ball like that? Try to claim the ball. If anything, if you try to claim the ball and then you go down, you can get a free kick. Why are you trying to punch it out? If you try to catch the ball and you miss it and then you go down, there's a stronger chance you get a free kick, because of course the circumstances of how you concede the goal, especially for that Ben White goal. If it was a case where you try to catch it and like he went down, I think maybe there would have been some claim. I don't know. That's just me speculating. I don't know what the referee would have done. But I don't like the fact he tried punching up, because each time he tried to punch up the ball, it kept going close to scoring. So that's my biggest issue. But as I said, it really is heartbreaking. I was very disappointed when we conceded in the first 6 minutes of the game. But I'm happy. I'm happy that Rosenior definitely, he didn't panic. He didn't say, okay, we'll do this. And I mean, a lot of people were asking who would he bring on, if anybody, at halftime. And of course, he didn't rush and say, okay, we'll do this. He gave some players some more chances to try to prove themselves, and then Garnacho came on. My question to the three people watching right now is, what do you think about the wide attacking players in this match? Do you think that they did their best? Do you think that they could have done better? What is your stance on it? Who do you think really was poor in that attack, if anybody? Let me know. 10 people watching now. Let me know what you think there. I want to hear from you guys. This is a interactive sort of stream. I want to start having other people come on again, of course, and do all of that. But for now, I just really wanted, to take the time to, have like a one-on-one, interact with those who join me here, in the chat. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate the likes that I'm seeing. I think I see there's 7 likes. If we can get to 10 likes, I'd really appreciate it. But as I've said, it really is disappointing. I was really hoping we could have, at least drawn the game. I said 1-1. That's my prediction. Anybody that I was speaking to, I kept saying I see a 1-1. And most definitely I was way off, massively way off, in terms of that score prediction. So, but yeah, as I said, it's better than losing the game 3-1. Of course, nothing beats getting a draw at least, so that you could go into the second leg even. But of course, I think having a 1-goal deficit or 1 goal be the difference, it really can be a positive. Of course, it can also be a negative thing, because Arsenal just need to score a goal. And if we score 1 goal in that second leg, they will still go through. So of course it'd be better if it was even. But I'm really hoping that for that second leg, we can really get our act together. We have 3 weeks to prepare. Or is it 3 weeks? Is the matter? When is the second leg? I know it's in February. I thought it was February 14 or something like that. But I don't remember. Second leg of Arsenal versus Chelsea. Carabao Cup. If anybody knows, you can let me know. I can't remember exactly when it is, but I do know that the second leg is sometime in February. I know it's around probably 3 weeks from now. So if it's on February 3. So all right. So yeah, I mean, as I said, it really would have been nice. But we go again. We move. Now we look forward. We look ahead, I should say, to the game against Brentford. Of course, I know that there's going to be the protest that's going to be happening 2 hours. I think if that should be going ahead, which I think will be going ahead, considering some people say blue coat and certain circumstances in terms of not having enough defensive options that are really competent. But of course, 2 hours before the game against Brentford on Saturday, there'll be a protest, which is something that I'm kind of split on if that should really be the case. But of course, people have the right to exercise their freedom to speak, their freedom to act out against what they believe is wrong, and in a peaceful manner. Because I don't think anybody is planning to do anything extravagant or over the top per se, rather than just let their stance be known that win, lose or draw, blue go out. That's just reality. But as I said, I'm going to take this time. We're about to hit the 20-minute mark. I'm going to take the time to go into the statistics. As I said, I'm not really a stat man, but what I do love to do is to zoom in on the situation in terms of the statistics, what the stats said. And I think this is a good time. 20 minutes into the stream, I really appreciate the support. And once again, I want to thank Chelsea Perspective for gifting those 5 membership. And of course, Huddersfield Town Fan TV actually came over just to say thank you. As also, I really appreciate the fact that he took the time to act on the notification that he perhaps got and come here. But that's by the way. Let's move on to looking at the statistics. So let me just share this. 12 people watching, drop a like on the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. And let me know what you guys think. What do you think is the negatives and positives? I know Chelsea Perspective gave his stance, he gave his opinion. So let me put myself into this frame so that you guys can see this better. Okay, what's going on? Okay, so I think I'm okay. Let me do it this way. So I won't be on the screen, but I hope that you guys can see this. So I'm going to zoom in here. So as you see okay, so this should be the best way for you guys to see it. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, oops. Still learning how to navigate this. Don't really use these things often, but okay. So all right. So this is that. All right. I need to minimize this. All right. So that is the statistics. So let me read it now. So Chelsea, of course, 58%. The XG is a massive drop off, which up to the game against Charlton Athletic, which I think many people aren't surprised about. Charlton Athletic is in the Championship, Chelsea are in the top flight league. So of course it was a case of quote unquote, and air quotes are there for a reason. It was Giants versus like a inferior team. So the XG 0.65. People say that we outperformed our XG. I don't know what's going on. I'm not able to talk today. I don't know what's going on. Total shots 17 from Arsenal, 10 from Chelsea, 5 shots on target. So half of the shots we had were on target, which is this is a massive drop off as well. Of course, Charlton gave Chelsea the chance to really come at them. They were sitting deep, having a low block. Arsenal were never going to do that. Arsenal were going to come out and try to add that intensity, that pressure. And Chelsea did struggle, but they grew into the match in the latter parts of that first half. But of course, having conceded goals, it really became in terms of trying not to get there to drop. And Zubimendi was the one who did so, but we really saw what's really needed in that midfield. and you need that aggressiveness. Enzo Fernandez isn't necessarily a defensive midfielder, so in terms of that aspect, I'm not really surprised there. I'm not going to be cursing him for that because I don't expect him to really step up like that and to do what needs to be done. But that's the case. Going down here, we see it says big chances. Chelsea had only one, according to FootMob, and Arsenal had three. Arsenal, of course, missed one of those big chances, according to FootMob. Chelsea missed zero of those big chances that they had, according to FootMob. 85% accuracy of the passes, and 421 of those passes were accurate from the total passes that Chelsea attempted. Which is and this is interesting. So I do know that we did go backwards a few times. So of course the numbers being 295 accurate passes for Arsenal, it doesn't really surprise me because we did go backwards a lot. Fouls committed 12 from Chelsea and 14 from Arsenal. 6 corners for Chelsea and 9 for Arsenal. We spoke about the XG already. I'm not going to repeat myself there. I'm going to go down to the ratings here to see if I can look at what FootMob has given. So, of course, no surprise here. I'm shocked by this, and I'm not really surprised at the same time. FootMob does do this. And, of course, Garnacho scored a brace. He came on for 37 minutes. He got 2 goals. XG was 0.30, and his XA, which is expected assist, is 0.01. I don't really care about the XG and XA, but just for the sake of sharing that part. And, of course, no surprise here. Declan Rice, the birthday boy, apparently. That's what I heard. 8.3. So Garnacho, funny enough, has 8.7 because he scored a brace, and he's the only Chelsea player that outperformed based on FootMob's rating, the Arsenal team. So Viktor Gyokeres 8.2 FootMob rating, Zubimendi 8.0, Bukayo, I almost said Bakayoko. Bukayo Saka 7.5, Ben White 7.5, Pedro Neto 7.2, Leandro Trossard 7.1. Gabriel 6.8 didn't really have much to really do, if I'm going to be honest. But 6.8 was very physical. He was going up to Guy. That was a really interesting battle to see, Mark Guy versus Gabriel. Very physical. He got very physical. When I say physical, I mean physical. Kepa did really good in this match, I have to say, in terms of the other opportunities. He made up some crucial saves. And I kept saying that on that watch long I was on, that we should be taking some long shots because Kepa, it doesn't really do good in long shots, but of course we didn't really do that. So of course nothing really helps there. Mikel Moreno 6.7. He came on for 22 minutes. Leandro Trossard came on. Well, he started and he played for 67 minutes, I have to say. Martin Odegaard. Oh, I will skip Saliba. Saliba 6.7 as well. 90 minutes played. Martin Odegaard, he played 6.6. He had 68 minutes of play and he got a 6.6 FootMob rating. Gabriel Martinelli 6.6 as well. He came on for 23 minutes. Estival 6.5. Massive drop off to the performance according to FootMob against Charlton. He played 90 minutes. He played the full 90. So I'm sure Chelsea fans who really respect Estival will be happy he got the chance to play 90 minutes. Timber 6.5 as well. Enzo Fernandez 6.5. Joao Pedro 6.4. Joao Pedro is really having a massive slump. He's not really doing a lot, but of course it is what it is. Josh Achimpong 6.2. Hato. I know a lot of people are happy. I'm happy to see Achimpong get minutes. He got 53 minutes. Started the game, played for only 53 minutes. Hato 6.2 when it came on for 15 minutes. Didn't really get the chance to do much. Trevor Chalobah 6.2, 90 minutes played. Chalobah did make some errors. He wasn't man marking good defensively. We're struggling. Wesley Fofana 6.0, 75 minutes played. Benoit Badiashile 6.0, 37 minutes played. Mark Guiu 5.8, and of course Robert Sanchez 4.9. Of course, no surprise there. He had a lot of stinkers in this game, so that's the case. Tosin 9 minutes played. According to FootMob, not enough to rate him. Havertz came on for only 8 minutes. Shimaweka had 9 minutes, and I'm happy for Shimaweka. I'm happy that he came on and he got the chance to touch the grass of Stamford Bridge. Again, he played on the Mercy, as I said before. He got that debut. So I'm happy that he got that chance as well. So let me see what's going on in the chat, if anything. But yeah, thank you to the 8 people watching. Appreciate you guys showing up here and showing the support to the stream. Really appreciate it. really appreciative. When I say I'm appreciative of it, I mean it. So so I thank you very much. I want to know what you guys think though. Do you guys agree with the football rating? What do you think about the rating? 8 people watching, let me see if we can strike a conversation here. Do you agree with the score line? Do you think that it's accurate? Or do you think that it's not? And of course, it should have been a case where some rating should have been lower, should have been higher. Let me know your thoughts about that as well. Um, yeah, we're about at the 30-minute mark. Just want to see if there's anything else I can probably share. Um, but this stream won't necessarily be long. I may just stream up to an hour. There's not really much to really discuss. Second game of Rosenior. It was a beautiful start, dream start against Charlton Athletic, but of course it's Charlton Athletic, Charlton, I'm butchering the name. Charlton Athletic, of course, is Charlton Athletic. So in terms of the performance, the chance that we had, we were able to really do a lot more because they allowed us to really play against them. So they gave us the ball. We dominated the possession there as well. And we had 30 shots. Can't forget that part. So in terms of that, you know, can't really say anything much there. Can't really complain. But yeah, I mean, I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Chelsea were hard done by? Do you think that the result is satisfactory in considering the fact that the defensive errors is really what gave the game away? Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. And as I said before, thank you very much to Chelsea Perspective. You gifted 5 Chelsea Sessions membership, and it will go a long way. It really will go a long way. I'm hoping that the members will, give the membership a chance. There's some videos over there already. We have some Q&As. You have other things planned for 2026 as well. So I appreciate it, as I've said before. But of course, Chelsea losing the game, not necessarily a good thing. It's disappointing, as I said, heartbreak. But I think there's hope because we were playing with a B level team. Key players were out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think because, in all honesty, it could have been worse. It literally could have been worse. Trust me, it could have been worse. But of course, Chelsea were able to to save face. I would say that they saved face. It could have been worse, as I said, really could have been worse. But Chelsea managed to to just try to do as best as they can. They didn't let their heads drop. They believed in themselves and fair play. They were able to do quite well in terms of trying to show that fight. And no, it really is. As I said, I'm really happy. I know a lot of people were saying that they were expecting manager bones. And I'm happy that this is not a manager bones to say that, okay, we're just firing on all cylinders. I'm happy that there's some struggles, there's some adversities to get over, and there's some hurdles that will have to be, fought against because, of course, Chelsea losing the game, it really is disappointing. But we move, we move. As I said, Brentford, of course, I know, but as I said, I expected a one draw, but as I said, I'm somewhat disappointed. The same old tale, defensive errors really let us down. And of course, we had chances that we didn't take as well. And also took the chances, that most of the chances when it really mattered. So fair play to them. Can't really fight them on that. They did what they could and they did what needed to be done. So fair play to them. And as a rival fan, it's a bitter taste in my mouth because I really wanted us to really a win over Arsenal. It's been a while since we've won against. No, well, Yeah, it has actually been 4 years. I was going to say almost 4 years. But what I can say is that it's been almost 5 years since we've gotten a win over, Arsenal. The last time we got a win over Arsenal was, when that guy, if you know what I'm talking about, looked like the best striker, the one that, people were saying was the final piece of the puzzle. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm still kind of upset with the whole situation of how everything went down, that whole situation. Not going to allude to it any further. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea managed to to pull himself back into the game and to keep the leg, the second leg up for grabs. And in terms of that, we don't think we can really say is that hopefully, we get certain players back by that time 3 years from now. I'm really hopeful. I haven't seen what Rosenior has said. If he has done his, post match interview, I want to see what he has to say about this. I know he'll say that he may say that he loves the fight from his players, because I know that Rosenior loves to to buy into what the players probably would want to hear. And of course, he's a manager that's very aggressive with what he wants and all that. But of course, he tries to keep the empathetic parts in his game as well, and not really try to do much, to really get the players to be really affected by what he says. But as I said, for people watching, drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. Share the stream as well. I want to know your thoughts. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. We're about 35 minutes into the show. As I said, this stream may not be on the longer side. I did a 90-minute stream. It's very late for some people, so I can understand why certain people aren't watching now. But I hope that I hope for the Arsenal fans that they can reflect and say that, wow, we were playing with basically a first team, barring a few players like David Raya and all of that. But it was a strong 11, 100% strong 11. So I don't want to hear any excuses from Arsenal fans, because they really played a very strong team, really strong team. So they can't say anything about the team not being strong enough. And I mean, they got a win. You can't complain because you got a win. So I mean, if anything, you can be grateful. Be grateful for the fact that you got a win. But of course, I know nervy moments, almost very exciting into that game as well. But as I said, I really appreciate the support. As I said once more, thank you very much to Chelsea Perspective for gifting the 5 membership. Really will go a long way. Thank him very much. I know it's very late for some people, as I've said. So I know that, but the other persons who probably got it, really being here is not really their biggest priority. But I appreciate the persons that drop a like, give it the comments, and did all of that. So I thank you guys very much for that. But yeah, in terms of the key takeaways I can take from this, and I may start integrating a new sort of series onto the channel called Key Takeaways. I know some other channels do key takeaways, or 3 things you learn, or 6 things you learn. But I want to do something where I can speak about the analytical things, and speak about other things like that, rather than focusing on just the negatives. So as I've said, it really is disappointing that Chelsea couldn't come back in the latter parts of the game, or complete their comeback, I should say, because we did come back in the latter time, 83 minutes, and all that. So thank you very much for the likes. We're now at 10 likes. I appreciate it. Really appreciate the support, and appreciate the people that came in, dropped a like and all that, as I said. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think, do you agree with Garnacho being the man of the match according to FootMob though? I don't really fancy Garnacho that much. I think there's a good play in there, but I always say that he's consistent, inconsistent. You see the best of Garnacho in some games, and then after that he just disappears. What shocked me is the fact that Madueke didn't play. I'm shocked that we didn't see Arteta play Madueke. I really was shocked. But as I said, if Chelsea get their key players back, it can be a situation where they can bring it back, that they can turn the but as I've said, if they bring if they get the chance to have AZ and all that come back into their team, things can change. But as I'm seeing people say, Garnacho gave Chelsea B team, a lifeline for the first leg, second leg. I mean, for the second leg, there's some lifeline. So that's very important to look at. But I know that a lot of Chelsea fans will be gutted that we couldn't get the job done, and really give Arsenal a reality check. But this is a reality check that things will not just be perfect and beautiful and utopic and euphoric as well. Things can get worse. Things can also get better. But I'm choosing to be optimistic. I know some people say I'm hypocritical when it comes to the fact that I wasn't really backing Maresca in the latter part, which I can't argue with that. I didn't, because I didn't really fancy a lot of what he was saying, and my biggest problem wasn't necessarily the tactical aspect completely. I didn't like the way we were playing, yes, and I mentioned it numerous times on the review of that Charlton win on Saturday of last week. I did mention that, but my biggest problem was the fact that he was complaining about things, and then at the end of last season, he was telling people to F off, and he was doing this and he was doing that, when he himself was saying that the team is young and all that. And then when people were also agreed with what he was saying, he went out and decided to attack them and say that, oh, there was doubters, the media was saying this, but he himself was also saying those things about the players. So that's, if that makes sense. I really wasn't understanding what he meant, because it wasn't like people weren't saying positive things. It was just a case of things just went south. But as I said, it really is disappointing we couldn't come back completely. But as I said, I'm really happy that the team all beats as well. Um, uh, it really is disappointing. Really is disappointing, 100%. Really is disappointing. So I just hope that things get better and we can see a better second leg. But as I said, Brentford is next. We have to focus on what's to come and not what has happened. This game is now in the record books of Chelsea's matches. So we move on to Brentford. I'll see if I can do a show for the Brentford game. I want to start doing some more tactical analysis, speak about how how Chelsea can be Brentford and videos like that. In terms of the resources, I just don't have them. So sometimes I can't really get to execute the ideas I have. But that's by the way. But as I said, 2026 is a year of change. I want to change up the dynamics of the channel. I want to offer something that I don't see other people doing consistently. And I've always been a person that likes to keep the channel unique. I focus on player profile videos. I outline how players are, so that for the fans that decide to watch it, they can have an understanding of how Chelsea play and how Chelsea can utilize those players that come in as well. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate the 4,000 plus people that have also taken the time to subscribe to the channel. It makes me know that at least there's some people that agree with what I say, if not everybody. At least some of what I see makes sense to somebody at least. So I'm thankful for that. 100% can't complain in terms of that. So, yeah, I'm just hopeful that we'll see something better for that second leg. 3 weeks to prepare. But as I said, Arsenal do have the chance to prepare as well. Eze will be there. Eze hasn't really played for Arsenal since he scored a hat-trick against Tottenham and all that. So there's a lot of things, a lot of key players that they were missing as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, we're hitting that 1 hour mark still very soon. As I said, this will not be necessarily a very long stream, because I don't really want to drag it out if I don't need to. That there's not really been much comments today, which is all right. So there's not really much reasons to drag it out. But as I said, big up to Chelsea perspective. gifting those 5 memberships. I know that the persons that got it who actually came to say things are grateful for it. And as I said, I really appreciate the support from each and every one of you, because without you, this channel would be nothing, literally. And we've come a long way, we've come a long way, and I'm just really appreciative of the fact that we were able to do what needs to be done. So yeah. But yeah, that's that. We move. Don't really think there's anything else I can really discuss. I said up to an hour, but I can't think of anything else to really discuss per se. Well, I can speak about Sanchez and the debate on if Jorgensen will become the first choice. Of course, new coach. So in terms of new sort of life for certain players, we can see that. There's a lot of things going on otherwise. So I have a question for you people watching. Do you think Jorgensen will Jorgensen become the first choice goalkeeper in your opinion? Let me know what you think. I want to put out a poll right now to see what people think. So I'm just gonna come on to YouTube so that I can put up the poll. So do you think Jorgensen should be the number one, or do you think that Sanchez will remain the first choice goalkeeper? I know that these are cup competitions, so in terms of that, can we really decide on that? But at the same time, as well, what I do know is that in terms of the fact that Rosenior is still trying to understand what is his best 11, what is his best team, what is his best starting team, he's gonna have to experiment with certain players, which is what we expect. He's coming in, watching the team play as a third party, and actually being the one that selects the team or being a part of the selection of the 11 and the squad is different. So I'm gonna go on to the stream now. I'm gonna ask the guys a question. Do you think that Jorgensen should be the number one, or do you think that Sanchez should remain the number one? So I'm gonna just put on the poll now, just waiting for this to go. Yeah, I want to take a little short intermission. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as I try to rectify this technical difficulty that I'm currently having right now. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll just be taking a short break, and then we will make our resumption take place. So let's just do this. Right. So we're back. I don't know, my camera isn't focusing. Come on, focus. I don't know what's going on with the lighting, man. Okay, perfect. Gosh, man, don't know what's going on there. Okay, and it's back again, and the problem is back again. Great. So, all right. So, as I said, who do you guys think should be number one? Who should be number one? Should it be Sanchez? Should it be Jorgensen? Let me know your thoughts, guys. So I put out a poll. Let me know who you think should start. As going forward, should it be Jorgensen or should it be Sanchez? I'm really intrigued to see what you guys say here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna ensure that I'm looking here to see who you guys say should be number one. I don't know what's going on with the lighting of this camera. Just trying to keep my eyes on what's going on in terms of the poll. All right, so there's 0% so far. But let me see if For the three people watching, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Jorgensen should be number one or should Sanchez be number one? All right, so I want to see if I can copy and paste this. Uh, I made a video a couple, well, not a couple, a season ago, asking the same question: who should be number one? So I'm gonna just create this poll. I beg your pardon, create this banner, um, synonymous with the poll, so that I can, have this part sorted out as well. So let's see. All right, so who should be number one? Really interested to see what you guys think. We're on the closing leg of this all now. As I said, I'm going to just be streaming for up to an hour, but there's not really much to discuss. Otherwise, I've given my thoughts. I've given the positives, the negatives. The positives and negatives. So I think that in terms of all of that, I think it's fair for me to, not to be too repetitive, if I can say so. But as I said, I'm going to just change over my devices because I'm having some technical difficulties. Right. So I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know what's going on. My device completely shut down. So who do you think should be number one? I'm gonna go back over to the poll to see what you guys are saying in terms of that. Let me see. So okay. So there's none currently, but that's all right. Nothing yet. So let me know who do you guys think should be number one? Should it be Philip Jorgensen or should it be Robert Sanchez? Or do you think neither? Really intrigued by that. Um, all right, so mm, all right, so yeah, okay, so Jorgensen has one vote now, so 100% people say Jorgensen. Thank you very much to whoever that is. Six people are watching. I think we can get at least five more responses. I really want to know. As I said, this stream will not be too long. I have about 9 minutes left. Just want to close out the stream with this little discussion, and then we can, proceed with something else to wrap up. So, all right. So we have one vote. Who do you think should be number one? Should it be Philip Jorgensen, or do you think it should be Robert Sanchez? So far, we have one vote. So who do you think should be number one? Should it be Philip Jorgensen or Robert Sanchez? Just waiting to see what you guys will see in terms of that. Um, um, all right. So no responses, which is all right. So only one person says Jorgensen, which is fine. Um, so we move from there, and we just go from there. Um, all right. So no more votes. So I guess Jorgensen is the only person. I guess the only person that said Jorgensen is the only opinion that I guess anybody. Um, as I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna give it a. We still have 7 minutes. I'm gonna see if anybody, comes in to give their opinions on that. Um, if not, I'll just end the stream. All right, so yeah, I mean, it's that. All right, so we have 6 minutes. 6 minutes to go. I want to see if anybody else will vote. Who should be number one? Jorgensen. I mean, if it's a case where you want me to put another option of somebody else, then fine. But for the rest of the season, who do you think should be number one? Should it be Jorgensen? Gonna give it one more um and see if anybody else has anything else to share in terms of that. Um, I don't know what's going on with my audio here. It's just acting up here. But as I said, thank you very much to Chelsea Perspective for you know doing so. It really I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Chelsea Perspective. And thank you for tuning in, giving your thoughts, and then leaving after that. Thank you very much, as I said. And thank you to the persons who tune in as well, gave their thoughts. Really appreciate it. But yeah, heartbreak, but there's hope. I would say that heartbreak, but hope. Um, that's at least that's what I think. Um, so hopefully we see better in that second. All right, so 2 votes now. We have 2 votes now. Thank you very much. Somebody else has voted. So Jorgensen has 2 votes now. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you for giving me your thoughts as well. So can you tell me why Sanchez man of the match? I see you, Jesus is king. I see you, Jesus is king. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Sanchez man. Yeah, he's the man of the match for Arsenal. I agree with you. 100% agree with you. He was the man of the match for. Oh my! So I'm taking you're the one of the persons who voted. Then Jesus King. Big up to you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you being here as well. Thank you very much. I know it's very late for you. But I did. If you remember, yeah. I mean, I don't understand. Like the ball just literally goes underneath his hand. Jesus King. I don't know how that happened, but that's exactly what happened. So the ball just go literally right under his hand, and he missed with that error. The first goal was atrocious. Second goal, he's another scrum. So what you saying? It's using what you saying. It's using the better of the less of the better of the lesser evils. I think that's how the saying goes. The better of the lesser evils. So I mean, he's not the greatest. He's young in terms of coaches, uh, goalkeepers. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying, man. I think I need to go to sleep. Honestly, I'm talking about your nonsense. He's young in terms of goalkeepers. We know goalkeepers go up to 40, so he's still very young in terms of a goalkeeper. Um, but yeah, he's not really been the greatest for us. But at the same time, he hasn't really played much. So when he does play, he's under excruciating pressure. But that's just me. That's just me. Yeah, we really missed that midfield presence. We had that imbalance. And I mean, I'll hold my hands up. Andre Santos really didn't have the greatest of games, but fair enough, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And we really missed our key players, which is why, as I said, you're joining now Jesus is king. But I was saying it before. Choice perspective also said it that one of the biggest things is that considering the players we had missing, it's an encouraging end to the match because it could have been worse. The game ended 3-2, which means that there's still hope. So if we have Reece James back, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers, my toes, everything, that he'll be back. We could have, yeah. I think we could have easily won this game if we had those players because Arsenal. I think what I like about the narrative is that Arsenal played practically a first choice 11. The only exceptions are probably, you know, some people may say that probably would have started a Martinelli or a Eze. Probably some people wanted Madueke to be playing, but it didn't happen. So in terms of that, I think in terms of that, it's just disappointing because I really was disappointed when I heard about the injury news for both teams because I didn't want it to be an excuse, and I didn't want it to be a case where we were weakened because of injuries or Arsenal were weak due to injuries. But I think it's safe to say that Arteta played mind games because he said Saliba and Gabriel were doubts and they played, literally played. So I mean, mind games. So that's the case. But yeah, but as I've said, thank you very much. Jesus is King, you kind of helped me prolong the stream because I was going to round up when you came in, but I thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much. I know you always support the channel when you can. And I do yours as well. Sometimes I don't really get the chance to really watch it, but for now I watch it. Yeah, I mean, what I will say is that, and I was saying this, I said it in the stream that I had that one of the things is that we see a combination of Moresca and Pochettino in terms of managers that we've had or coaches. I need to some say managers, coaches that we've had um in the past where it's about being possessive at the same time. Well, Pochettino was also possessive. There's a case where we see the 3-2-5 structure still, where it's attack, and being intense and getting to team, which I agree with what his perspective would have said on his stream a couple of days ago. I don't remember which stream it was. That in terms of what we could see is a case where, unlike on Maresca, we will lose more games, or we'll probably also win more games because we'll go out for the game, but we'll concede a lot more goals under Rosenior, of course, with these players as well. We could concede less goals if we get a better defense and a well-rehearsed sort of situation. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. 100% agree with you. He does look like he has a bit of touch, which is attack. So we're going to see a lot of high-scoring games under Rosenior, for however long he stays at Chelsea. That's no doubt, 100% that's going to be the case. Um, yeah, I mean, I know that I don't like being conservative. As I said in that stream against Charlton, I said after the Charlton game, I should say, I like taking calculated risks, but what I didn't like in this match is the fact that because in the beginning I did see some tactical things where every time Arsenal on the were in possession, it was the case where we were dropping back and it was unison, dropping back in unison. But of course we were too high up, and then Arsenal was able to hit us on the counter as well. So that's another thing. So yeah, you say Reece James in the attacking part will be lethal. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And the thing with Achingpong is that, of course, he's inexperienced at the top level, but he has the potential to really rival Augusto and Reece James. Right now, with experience that Reece James has in terms of winning the Champions League and doing things like that, he is the go-to. He's a captain after all. He's one of the older players in the squad. So, of course, it's always important to have your experienced players in the squad or even on the bench to really run the team. And we didn't really have that luxury, sadly. So, yeah, I and that was a massive miss for us. Not having our captain or one of our captains in James. Gusto, of course, not being there to offer something new is also disappointing. But at the same time, we do have a situation where we see the young players get a chance. Players like a Gu and a Aching Pong and a Hatu getting games. I'm happy for that because there's certain players I believe deserve more chances. And of course, we'll never know the full context of why players weren't playing on the Maresca and all that. But let's see. Using Sanchez in build up needs to stop. Maresca realized it and change it. I agree with you. I think that's true. I think that is true. All right, Sanchez. So somebody said Sanchez. So he's 67% Diogo and 33% says Sanchez. So who okay, for the person if you're still here, why do you think Sanchez should be the first choice? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying if you could tell me, I want to know why do you think that Sanchez should be the first choice? I'm not asking that disrespectful. I'm asking in terms of generally wanting to have a conversation. Why do you think he should start? As I said, I had the banner up. Who should be number one? Jorgensen or Sanchez, and I'm intrigued. Bear with me, I need to just hydrate myself, so just give me a minute. My apologies. I really need to drink something. Um, yeah, Hatta will play more. I agree with you, Jesus this game. Yeah, I mean, and big up to you, Tobago. Good to see you. But I'm gonna read what this says first, and I'll come to your comment, Tobago. Hatta will play more. We might go in for Barco next summer for the Enzo rule. I would like to see competition develop. Yeah, I can't fix my light. I don't have. I don't have high tech quality things. I'm in a university um residence or hall, so I'm in a dorm room, so my lighting is gonna be like this. I'm trying to get the light in to come back up because I do have all the light, you can see it. No, my light is back. Um I don't know. This is why I'm trying to get the support to really get to buy the equipment because I know that my lighting is bad. I want to be able to get one of those lights so I can have it beside me so that my lighting is not this bad. I know it is appalling to see. Um, my apologies. My apologies, Jesus is King Night, but this time the out for using. Yeah, I yeah. So I'm seeing people. Okay, 50-50 now. People are voting now. 50-50. So all right, let me go back up to what you said, Tobago. So you said I've been I've been saying it all season. Enzo Maresca is not the problem or problem. I mean, he can be the problem. No, as I said, um, he was also a part of the problem because it wasn't that case where we were giving other players a chance because the goals that we conceded weren't from the wings. It wasn't from the flanks. It was from the central area, the midfield and the centre back pairing. And if he gave certain players more chances, then I'd say that. So, but I agree with you. I've always said it. The problem wasn't him, but what I don't like, and I've always mentioned this, and I'm going to say this because I might as well continue now because more people are coming in now. Um, I don't like the inconsistencies that I'm seeing from some people because people are saying Maresca wasn't the problem and yada yada yada, and that's not just you today. I'm not saying that you are a problem with what you in terms of that, but in terms of some fans, because I mean, barring Tosin, barring Tosin, we had the exact centre backs things are going very bad for me right now. I don't know what's going on. But as I was saying, under Pochettino, we had the same situation where the defenders were because their city was going attack. But our defense was also bad because even when we tried to be defensive, at times it was a case where we were also conceding. I always mention the fact that we could have gotten top four on the Pochettino, but he brought on Badiashile, for example, and then we ended up, conceding. So, of course, I'm not saying that really, but at the same time, we had the same defender. So why is it the case where we will see that Moresco isn't the problem for that part? But at the same time, a lot of people won't give the same argument for the fact that our defenders also let us down on the Pochettino because it's the same defenders. So I don't really get that. And of course, under Pochettino as well, we did see that Caicedo was also having a difficult time. And no, as I said, I wasn't Pochettino's biggest fan, and I'm still not his biggest fan. I believe that he's a good coach, but he's also a coach that has been unfortunate and he's not been able to win things as well. So in terms of win things in England, I should say. So yeah, but I think people were not really being consistent because a lot of people say that we had this situation under Pochettino and he had the same defenders, barring Fofana because Fofana was missing. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I agree with you. We spend so much on centre backs alone, and this is why my problem is even if it was to sign a centre back, or we did sign centre backs, why do we not keep one of Alsen Mino or Mamadou Sarr? We have centre backs. It's not like we don't have centre backs employed at the club. We have Mamadou Sarr, we have Alsen Mino, but of course we hear about game time. But I mean, we didn't have to loan out Alsen Mina. I understand with the likes of Mamadou Sarr because he went back to Strasbourg, very quickly. So I didn't understand that. But I mean, I always say it makes no sense to crave sour grapes. Makes no sense to crave sour grapes. So it's in the past. This game is in the books, as I've said. We just have to hope that when 3 weeks comes on February 3 for the second leg at the Emirates Stadium, we can pull it off. We haven't won against Arsenal in almost 5 years. The last time was when that guy and Reece James scored against Arsenal. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's very good. So I didn't understand why we didn't at least keep him because Levi Colwell, I think, unless I'm wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Alison Mino went out on loan after Levi Colwell got injured. So I didn't understand why we didn't keep him around because you need squad depth. Fofana, based on the data that they use, data-driven people, Fofana can get injured because he's an injury-prone player. Why not keep him around? Tosin has the bozo gene, but Badiashile has the bozo gene. Chalba has the bozo gene. Fofana looks like he has the bozo gene sometimes as well. We have a whole bunch of bozo gene players, to be honest. But as I said, I'm sad, but I'm also proud. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm disappointed, but I'm also proud of the performance in the latter part because it was a B team against almost a fully fledged A team Arsenal. Most of I think nine out of those 11 players were basically players that on their day would start for Arsenal otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, so in terms of that, I'm proud of the team, 100% proud of them, proud of the performance. In terms of that latter part, we could have draw the game level, and all that. Um, we have no option but to go all out the next. Yeah, we have no option. That's what I'm saying. That hopefully we get the likes of Reece James back and like a Gusto and Cole Palmer. Hopefully we'll be able to at least offer something from off the bench. But I'm not gonna cross my finger because we know that he has a groin injury. He may be out for the rest of the season. I think he may need surgery. Cole Palmer, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we just have to do what we have to do, and we have no option, as you said, but to go out in that second leg and try to win it 100%. Um, but yeah, if you guys have anything else, let me go back to the poll to see what people are saying. So there's 6 votes. Jorgensen is winning. 30. I want to keep the poll up until the end of the stream. just in case more people come in. But let me know if you guys have anything you want me to discuss. Other than that, I think we can come to the natural end, as my good friend coach would say, of the stream. Um, I've been streaming for over an hour now. Been sitting here for over an hour. So if we have nothing else to discuss, I have no problem. I'll just end here. I said I was going to see you for 60 minutes. Of course, you guys came in and wanted to let you give your thoughts on, vet, and vent, I should say. So yeah, but as I said, thank you to you both for tuning in. Thank you to Chelsea Perspective, as I've said, for gifting those 5 memberships. Really appreciate the support. Um, Okay, so no. Okay, so that's it then. Thank you very much. I know it's very late for you, Tobago, so I appreciate you stopping by. I'm gonna shoot you a message as well, Tobago. So if you're not gonna go to bed now, I want to send you a message and I want your thoughts on something. Um, if you have the time, of course. But thank you very much to everybody that's tuned in. Really appreciate the support today. Um, and we move on to Brentford on Saturday, the 17th, with the protest also slated as well. Um, hopefully we beat them at the Emirates, make it to the final of the Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, this Arsenal team was there to beat. We just unfortunately couldn't get the job done. But yeah, I mean, we can feel hard done by for sure. Really feel hard done by because I believe that if we had certain players available, it could have been a different situation completely. 10,000% believe it could have been a different situation, but it just wasn't meant to be. But as I said, Garnacho of all people, um, being the difference maker for us to get those 2 goals and to give us some lifeline, as I've seen people say online. So thank you very much. Just want to get my I want to get my outro slash intro back on so I can end the stream with that. But yeah, so I'm just play this to end the stream. But thank you very much for tuning in, as I've said. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys when I see you, whatever that may be. So thank you guys for tuning into the show. As Nightbots has just said, I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
lie.